Hello, I'm Linda Casey, editor-in-chief of Packaging Impressions magazine and senior content editor at brandunited.com. We're glad you joined us today for what will be a real treat. Today, we're talking with Doug Sanderson, president of Gleicher Manufacturing Corp., which leverages a 65-plus year history of innovation to engineer, custom fabricate, and supply bonding, sealing, and fastening components for some of the world's most demanding customers. And Kirk, President and CEO of Enterprise Print Group. EPG is a family-owned label converter and printer that pulls on its more than a quarter of a century of experience and commitment to innovation to deliver durable processed labels on a variety of materials without the cost or lead time of plates and cutting dies. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Kirk, as part of EPG's commitment to innovation, I understand that you've upgraded your laser cutting line, which increased your capacity. Can you tell me a little bit about what prompted the investment and a little about how the investment has benefited your operation?
Sure. We're only about a year into this SEI Laser, and when we bought it originally, it more than met our need for the capacity we needed for laser finishing. But not too long after that, our business increased substantially, and we had to make the decision to go ahead and bring in a second laser, which was ended up being a really good decision for us. So we almost doubled our speed through the machine, and it allowed us to turn orders very quickly, which is a big part of what we deliver to our customers, quick turn. It also allowed us to eliminate even more of the downtime we'd have between jobs because we just processed a lot faster. So
fantastic, Kirk. Getting new equipment can be exciting, but it can also be a little daunting. What was your experience with the installation and training?
Well, we had some experience with the SEI. About 10 or 15 years ago, we had a couple of SEI lasers in another business that we had. So we had some experience with the equipment. And that's why we went back to Matic again and brought the SEI into this business as well. So we had some background there. We installed during the pandemic, which was everything was a challenge for us during that time. I think for everybody, but we know from firsthand experience it was a challenge for us. But SEI and Matic especially rose to the challenge, and we had a smooth transition. We had delivery was on schedule. They were here to implement the installation, train us, and we were underway within about 9 days, actually, from the time that the machine hit the dock.
Impressive, 9 days. That's very impressive. I know, how did you both learn about Matic and Sei? I know, Kirk, you said that you have been a longtime customer. Could you tell us a little bit about how you first learned about them?
Sure. I mean, well, we've worked with Sei for quite a while, and they've formed a partnership with Matic here in the States to represent them and sell and service their equipment. So again, during COVID, they were the ones who stepped in locally in this country to help facilitate the repairs that we need in getting a technician over here.
We had some digital technology years ago that incorporated the SEI as part of the line continuous process. So we had our experience with SEI. That's how we had our first experience with SEI. So when we went back to SEI, it was through Matic, and that's how we brought in our second machine. Yep.
Thank you, gentlemen. And how are your customers benefiting from your relationship with Matic and Sei?
So our business is durable labeling, and we provide UL approved materials mainly to appliance manufacturers, lawn and garden people, medical device manufacturers, and especially through the pandemic, there were times where these folks just didn't get what they needed from their other suppliers. So having a digital workflow, a 7-color UV press, and then the laser we eliminated a lot of the wait time for a lot of the products that they have to have. It's always been crazy to me to think that a customer that's building a medical device could be held up for a 5-cent label. So we kind of make it our mission to not let that happen. So we've been very busy, and and our customers are very happy because we can pretty much turn on a dime. The other thing we have, I think, is an advantage for us as a small company is because our niche is a really specific niche in the label industry. We're able to keep the materials that we need. We don't have 100 SKUs of raw materials. We have a very few limited SKUs, and we're able to keep enough of that as well during the pandemic, and even now with the problems we have now, that we have material available to process through this digital and then laser finishing line. So I think they would say that they've benefited greatly here in the last year or so.
Definitely, Kirk, certainty of supply chain is so important, and we've really learned that over the last few years more than ever. So the fact that you're able to provide your customers that surety of supply chain is amazing. And Doug, what are some of the benefits that your customers are seeing from your relationship with Matic and SEI?
Yeah, we've been able to, as a specialty converter, working with primarily 3M and Velcro materials, having the lasers allow us to sample, put first piece samples quickly in the customer's hands so that they can try and conceptualize, the bigger picture as they're working through their initial designs. And also, if they start a project and they're behind the 8 ball from the beginning, it allows us to get a smaller quantity, in some instances, of parts out the door right away before without having to wait for hard tools, be it a steel roll die or a rotary die, because we provide those services as well. So it's been great. And then there are other jobs that run exclusively just on the laser. They never see a rotary press or a punch press. So it's given us great flexibility. And again, as Kirk mentioned, the ability to respond quickly with everything that's gone on in the world the last several years. That's become even more important than ever because lead times can be so long, and material arrives on your dock. We don't stock everything. But material arrives on your dock and you need to get parts out right away. Lasers allow us to do that for most of the materials we work with.
And are there any team members that you would like to especially credit with helping you develop the relationship with Matic and Sei and establishing these benefits?
Primarily, our primary contact with Matic has been Gianpaolo. He's located here in the States, but he's kind of our one call, first call and last call. And kind of once we hand off an opportunity or an issue or a need, he rallies whoever he needs to and takes care of us. So Steve and Uli and Sherry and all the folks the supporters from Matic are all important as well. But Gianpaolo, he's the guy.
And I'd echo that for Gleicher. He's been wonderful to work with and very helpful in getting questions answered or troubleshooting things that have come up. So the entire Matic team has been great to work with.
Thank you both, gentlemen. On behalf of Packaging Impressions Magazine and the entire NAPCO and Printing United community, I want to thank you both for sharing your experiences with us today. Doug and Kirk, we appreciate your insights and desire to share your experiences to help the printing and converting communities.
You're welcome.
Thank you.